Hi, this is Shannon. This is Cycle 1, Week 7. I'm excited to share with you some tutor ideas for this week. If you are new here, I am a homeschooling mom of 3 little ones, ages 5, 3, and 1, and we are part of Classical Conversations and love it. And I have the privilege this year of tutoring the Abecedarians, so they are the little ones, ages 4 through 6 years old. So let's get started. Also, make sure you stick around to the end of this video. I am going to show you some activities and games I have made that you can do at home with your kids to help them practice the memory work for this week. So I will explain how to get those. They're all free on my blog. So make sure you stick around so you can use those too. We are going to start today with English. I've shown these before, but I've made these little notebooks for the kids in my class. They are just preschool line notebooks. I'll link below if you want to find them. And each week I write the prepositions that we are learning. So I've already written weeks 1 through 6 in their books, and we've done those. And so this week we have the next few prepositions. We are starting with in and ending with near. So I write some of them completely, and I leave blanks for some of them, and I make some of them little dots so the kids can trace them. You can really adjust this to the kids' ability in your class. You can customize it for individual kids. That's one reason I really like doing this. So if you have some older kids, you can leave more blanks and let them completely write those prepositions. If you have younger kids, you could just write all of them yourself and let the kids trace them a little bit, or you could do the dots like I did and ask the kids to trace some of them. You could do a mixture. You can really just do whatever makes sense for your group. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hand these out, and I'm going to give each child a pencil and encourage them to try to write some of the prepositions or trace, depending on what I've done here. And I'm going to give them a few minutes to do that. As we're doing that, I'll walk around and, kind of point to each preposition and make sure they know what they are, and we'll go over them together. Then, after they've had a chance to write them, we will go over our preposition song. For our preposition song, we started this week 2, and this will go through week 12. We learn motions for each of the prepositions. So first, I'm going to teach the kids the motions for this week's prepositions, and then we will start at the beginning of the song together and see if we can do it through this week. We've done that each week, and doing that each week really helps them to get it down, and it's really fun. So this week we start with in, and last week we ended with from. So remember, we went for, from. That's how we ended last week. This week we're starting with in. So we'll put one hand, the fingers inside the other hand. So in, and then inside, we're going to keep that motion and squat inside. And then for into, I'm going to raise back up and put 2 fingers. So we've got in, inside, into, and then like, I'm just going to put 1 finger on the side of my mouth and tilt my head. So like, and then near, I'm going to put my hands to the side and just lean in like I'm leaning into somebody. Near. So again, we start with in. So in, inside, into, like, near. That is this week's. Now I'm going to start at the beginning. So from week 2 through week 7. And I've seen this done both ways. You can do it however you want. You could go a preposition toot to toot relates a noun toot to toot, or pronoun toot to toot, another word toot to toot, and then start. Or you could also do but by that toot to toot, but by that toot to toot, but by that toot to toot, but by that toot to toot. About, above, across, after, against, along, amid, among, around, at, atop, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, but by, concerning, down, during, except, for, from, in, inside, into, like, near. I also like to give the kids a sticker to put on their book each week I've said this before, but this is not a name of a kid in my class. I just did this as an example. But I make these covers to put on the books. I laminate them. This one isn't laminated, but I laminate them, and then I give the kids a sticker each week that they can stick on their books. So by the end of the year, they have 24 plus stickers, which is fun. And I do have this template if you want to use it on my blog. I'll link below, and you can just customize it with the names of the kids in your class if you want. For timeline this week, I have my timeline cards. I got these cards from the Classical Conversations bookstore. I'll link below if you're curious. I also put the first letter of each event on the cards just because I have the little ones, so it helps them, especially if they can't read yet. I got these letters from the dollar store, and I'll link those below too if you are curious. So for this week with timeline, I am going to have these cards hidden around the room before our class time even starts. So the kids will come in, and when we get to timeline, I'll tell them, all right, go around the room and try to find 1 or 2 cards, depending on how many kids you have. And once you find the 1 or 2 cards that you're supposed to, come sit back down at your seat. So they'll find their cards, they'll come sit back down. Then I'll have 7 pieces of painter's tape up on the wall, and we'll go over the events in order. So the first one is Jesus the Messiah. So I'll say, who has Jesus the Messiah? What does Jesus start with? J. Okay, cool. So whoever has J, I'll have them go put that up on the piece of painter's tape on the wall. Then once all the cards are up on the wall, I'm going to have the kids take turns. They're going to each have one of these light up sticks. I got these from Joann Fabrics, but they're probably on Amazon. I haven't looked, but they're really great. If you can find them, I use them for a lot of things. So I'm going to give them each one, and we're going to take turns. They're going to come up, and we're going to sing the timeline song together. I'm going to encourage everybody to sing it. Each kid is going to get a turn tapping on each card on the wall as we sing it. So you're like, Jesus the Messiah, and they'll tap on Jesus the Messiah. And then we'll go to Pentecost and the early church, and they'll tap on that one. And then the next one, etc. And each kid will get a chance. So that means we'll sing the timeline song a lot of times for however many kids you have. So that's awesome. Then once they all do that, I'll have all the kids go stand up against the wall, and I'll tell them, okay, now we're going to sing it, but we're going to go over the motions together. The motions for this week are, I start with Jesus the Messiah. So I put my middle finger against each palm. So Jesus the Messiah. And then I put my thumb under 3 fingers and make a sash for Messiah. So Jesus the Messiah. And then Pentecost, I'm going to put my finger over my lips. So Pentecost, and then make fire. And the early church, make a C like this on the rock. And then persecution spreads the gospel. So persecution, I'm going to punch, spreads the gospel. I'm going to make a G and then kind of turn my pages of my book like that. Persecution spreads the gospel. And then Herod's, I'm going to make a T, so put my thumb like that. Herod's temple destroyed. I'm going to bring my hands out and then together, destroyed. So Herod's temple destroyed by Titus. Diocletian, so I'm going to put my finger up for D. Diocletian divides, so divides like that, divides the Roman Empire. So Diocletian divides the Roman Empire. And then Constantine legalizes Christianity. I'm going to do my Christianity symbol again. So Constantine legalizes Christianity. India's Gupta. Then I'm going to go like that and go down from my ear. India's Gupta dynasty. So again, Jesus the Messiah, the Pentecost and the early church. Persecution spreads the gospel. Herod's temple destroyed by Titus. Diocletian divides the Roman Empire. Constantine legalizes Christianity. India's Gupta dynasty. That's timeline this week. For geography this week, we're talking about the Roman Empire. I'm going to give my kids some little gummy snacks. Obviously, check with the parents in your group before you give them any food in case there's allergies or the parents would just prefer you not give candy or snacks like that. But you could also use a little eraser. It's fall time, so you might be able to find some cute little pumpkin erasers or something like that. So first, I am going to go over these places with the kids and have them put a gummy on each one. So we've got the Roman Empire, we've got Hispania, which is in blue. So I'm going to have them put a gummy on that one. And then Gaul in pink, and then Germania in orange. And then we've got Alexandria in green over here, and Carthage in purple. So they can put their gummies on each one, and then I'm going to tell them, don't eat them yet. We're going to sing a little song, and then I'm going to ask them if they can remember any of the places, and then they'll eat them. So first, our song is to the tune of Father Abraham, and it goes like this. Roman Empire, Hispania, Gaul, Germania, Alexandria, and Carthage, the Roman Empire. So you can sing that with them a few times, and then they should still have gummies on all their locations, and you can say, okay, who can tell me, do you remember what is highlighted in orange? Who remembers what that was called? And then if they say Germania, you say, yay, you get to eat that gummy. Or you can let everybody eat that gummy. And then, okay, somebody else tell me, which one is the blue one? Ooh, Hispania. Okay, now everybody eat that gummy. So it's just a way to kind of review it at the end. Also, I think it's really great to review geography when you already have your maps out. So go over some of the other places that you've learned that the kids can see on their maps. It's a great way to do that while their maps are already out, and it's just a really easy way to review. For math this week, we are skip counting the 13s, and we are going to do some mathercise. So that means that the kids get to decide what mathercise or exercise we will do as we skip count the 13. So first, I'll do it just normally and have them follow along with me on my board. So it goes like this. 13, 26, 39, 52, 65, 78, 91, 104, 117, 130, 143, 156, 169, 182, 195. And then I'll choose one of the kids and say, okay, give me a mathercise we can do, or an exercise. And you could give them the example like, let's do wall sits, or let's do high knees, or let's do push-ups, or let's do sit-ups, or let's do jog in place, anything like that, a mathercise. So then everybody will do that as we sing them, and it's just fun and get some energy out. You can also, I've shown these, use these movement cards that I made. I'll link below if you haven't printed them out and used them till you can. They're free, they're fun, same idea, like shooting stars, squats, crawl. They're just fun movements. So you could give a card to each kid and then just alternate different movements and sing the 13s. That is math this week. For history, we are going to do some silly words again. So when we do this, I sing or say the history sentence normally for the kids, and I tell them to listen really, really carefully. And then after I sing or say it, then I will sing or say it with some silly words added in and tell them if they hear a silly word, raise your hand and tell me what it is. They love this. I did this like a ton last year and it never got old. So the normal history sentence goes like this. Hinduism developed around 1500 BC and is known for karma, reincarnation, and the caste system. Founded in the 6th century BC, Buddhism teaches self-denial as the path to enlightenment. So that's the normal way. And I'll say, okay, now I'm going to put some silly words in. So for example, I'll say hippoism, and they'll be like, wait, what? Not hippoism, what is that? Oh, Hinduism. Okay, and so every time they get a silly word, I'll start at the beginning and do it right until the next silly word. So, okay, let's try again. Hinduism developed around 1500 BC and is known for caramel. They'll say caramel? No, what is it known for? Karma. Okay. All right, let's try again. Hinduism developed around 1500 BC and is known for karma, reincarnation, and the cat system. Cat? No, what it should, oh, caste. So you get the idea. So I'll tell you the words I substituted, but you could just do whatever or even think of them on the fly. So I did hippoism instead of Hinduism, caramel instead of karma, cat instead of caste, cubism instead of Buddhism, whining instead of self-denial, and lion hunt instead of enlightenment. So that is history this week. For Latin, we are doing the third declension noun endings, and I made these silly voice sticks. So I've shown before I have silly voice cards, which you could totally just do too if you already have them prepped. But I also made these, and I will show a picture with them all laid out and all the different silly voices I use. So if you want to make them, you can. They're just big popsicle sticks, and it just changes it up. Same idea, but the kids think they're cool to choose a popsicle stick. So for example, I've got hold your nose, or mad voice, or crying voice. So you can have them each choose a popsicle stick, and first have them, listen to the song that Classical Conversations provides normally and have them try to sing it normally, and then you can have them try with a silly voice. So it goes like this. Various is, e-m-a, various is, e-m-a, various is, e-m-a, singular third declension, ace, ibis, ace, ibis, ace, ibis, ace, ibis, ace, ibis, ace, ibis, plural third declension. So then you could have them be like, okay, let's do our first popsicle stick, crying. Let's do it in a crying voice. So various is, etc. So it's always fun to do silly voices, always makes them laugh, never gets old. So again, you can use these popsicle sticks, or you can use the silly voice cards I've shown before that you can download from my blog. We got slow, we got loud, we got snapping our fingers as we do it. So you could do either thing, super fun, makes them smile. For science this week, we are learning about some ways that animals reproduce. And what I'm going to do is I am going to sing a little song to my kids about this to the tune of The More We Get Together. And it goes like this. What are some ways animals reproduce? Live birth, fragmentation, eggs and budding. Live birth, fragmentation, eggs and budding. What are some ways animals reproduce? Then I'm going to have them try that with me a few times. And then I'm going to say, okay, we have to be completely quiet, and we're going to take turns, and each person gets to choose a hand motion to do. So for example, live birth, but they wouldn't say anything. They would just rock like a baby, rock this baby. And the other people have to guess which one they're doing. So you could kind of go over them again. Like remember, live birth is rocking a baby. Fragmentation is like breaking. Eggs, just make an egg shape with your hands. And budding, like a plant is growing like that. So each person gets to switch off. Again, you can't talk, just have to do the hand motion. So somebody could do, and then whoever can guess what that is, you can say, okay, raise your hand if you think you know what they did. They can say, ooh, eggs. And then you can sing the song with them again. So that is science this week. For review this week, I wanted to show this again. I've shown this game before, this bingo game I made that you can download. But I wanted to show it again because I changed it up a little bit. So now I have different bingo boards, but also different actions that the kids can do while they're answering a review question. So the one I originally posted had like blink like a lightning bug, flutter like a butterfly, slide like a snail, which are fun, but I also realized it might be good to have some more chill ones too. So for example, one of the boards has cover one eye, stand on one foot. So you can look at the template and you can also change it. I made it a template so you can customize it. or you can print it as is, but you can kind of decide, would you rather your kids to have more active, fun things to do as they're answering review questions, or a little bit more chill, but still fun? And then you can make the dice depending on what actions you choose. So this dice I already made has the flutter like a butterfly, hop like a bunny actions on it, like I did the other weeks, but you can make another die. I have the template for each one depending on what motions you choose, and then if you want different ones. And then I have another die with the subjects on it. So what they'll do is they'll roll both of them, and they'll get an action and a subject, and then they find on their bingo board, and I have, I think, 8 different bingo boards, so you can give each kid a different one or have them work in teams. So say they rolled Latin and flutter like a butterfly. So they would find flutter like a butterfly and then Latin under it. And so they would have to flutter like a butterfly as you ask them a question about Latin. And I like to think about these questions on the fly, just depending on the kid's level. So if I sing the Latin song a little bit, one of the, either the first declension noun endings or the second declension noun endings, can they kind of finish it or something like that? You could also bring Play-Doh in and just let them play with Play-Doh and ask a few review questions. You could bring some coloring pages in, just let them color as you play some review music from the past few weeks. There's lots of different options. So as promised, I have some activities I want to share with you that you can download for free from my blog. They are games and activities you can do with your kids to help practice the memory work throughout this week. So my family loves playing games, so I like making them and sharing them with you. I hope they're helpful. So first I have this history crossword puzzle about Hinduism and Buddhism. Then I have this science board game where they will also have a spinner. So you can cut out this spinner and they'll spin, and whichever way of reproducing they get, they'll move a marker to the first animal that reproduces in that way. And then whoever finishes first wins. So that's science. I have the Latin bingo cards I have shown you before with all the Latin noun endings from week 3 through week 12. I have the preposition cards I've shown before, all the prepositions on them. My family likes to play memory with these, or you can do different things with them. And then I have, for geography this week, I made another spinner, and I have, let me find my map, there it is. I have a Roman Empire map, and I also have a review from last week too on the map. So they will spin their spinner and then try to identify the number that they spun. And then for math, I have this honeycomb. They have to find the 13s in the right order and get the B to its home. So these are all free. I just want to share them with you. I will link below in the description how to download them. And yeah, I hope you enjoy them and get to play them with your family. Follow me on Instagram. I like to post what we do at home throughout the week related to the memory work and just general homeschooling. So games we play, activities we do, books we read, stuff like that. And also, if you are enjoying my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I'm posting 2 videos per week relating to homeschooling, classical conversations, tutoring, things like that. So please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.